It's- Okay, hi everyone. I am here with Ambassador Eric. He's the ambassador to the Third Order in the Modern Mystery School. He's an international instructor, Kabbalah instructor, and he also specializes in teaching releasing your negative emotions, aka the negative ego, and building wealth. And then we are bringing him here again for self mastery, a leadership, self leadership class. So that's why we're talking today. We wanted to find out a little bit more from Ambassador Eric himself about this class. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about his background. Like, he opened up Brazil with Ipsissima Lisa. Some of you might not know these people, but um, he opened up the mystery school in Brazil and has a very thriving community down there. So I just want to hear a little bit more about your background before that. Like, how'd you get into the mystery school? And I know that you have an interesting story.
Sure. It's good. It's good to be here. Thanks, Aaron, for having me on. Thank you all for coming to listen and prioritize for you first. I used to work in the movie business. I actually live in the same city that Aaron did. I come from the same area, Walnut Creek. And I'm a Bay Area guy myself, and I grew up there, and then I actually ended up moving to Los Angeles and ended up working in the movie business. And I worked on a lot of movies like Iron Man and Forrest Gump and things like that. So I got to work with Penelope Cruz, I got to work with Al Pacino and Mel Gibson and all sorts of people like this. And, pretty much lived in that world of ego, right, where everybody's just, like, ego. And that starts to rub off on you start to think that you're just like them, and so you kind of start living this way where you have this overinflated sense of who you think you are, but it's all based on personality. And so I lived this way for a long time. And what did it do? Well, I made a lot of money. I had success that people would say is success, but I lived as an emotional reaction to every single thing. I was very extremely jealous. I was very controlling. I was not happy. Despite having all of this success, I wasn't happy at all. And got to the point where I wasn't happy with the government. I wasn't happy with anybody around me, or even myself. And despite having all these things, I wasn't living the life that I thought I could. So I got really depressed, got really down, and decided I was going to do something about it. And that's when I discovered the mystery school. I found a magazine. My mom used to like these like holistic magazines. And so I chose somebody, and I went to have a healing there. And I had never done really a healing before. And my eyes opened up to a new possibility. I did this thing called the life activation. I did the Empower Thyself class, and I did this crystal healing. I did this all in 10 days, and my eyes opened up to this whole new world. I was an engineer. I didn't even believe in this stuff before. It was just like, I don't need that. All I needed to do was just work and make more money and get a raise or get a promotion, and then I would be happy. Well, at least I thought I was. And then I did this, and then I started realizing that there's a lot more to life than just those things that I just described. And so it started me on a path to knowing myself, not knowing my personality as I thought I did, that we're supposed to be ups and downs and supposed to be like that. Start knowing my true self, who I really am. And that's where I started to change, because I started realizing, you know what? This isn't me. I'm not a jealous person. I'm not a controlling person. I'm not a reactive person. Those are just temporary moments that I just need to understand and get different understandings. And through that, I started to change. And so I just kept doing more and more and more and more, and eventually left the movie business. And then I wanted to become a teacher. And first I do initiations and take these classes. And then I wanted to teach and help people because it was doing so good for me. I thought, if it's doing good for me, it can help other people too. So that's when I decided I wanted to serve more, and I wanted to help bring this to other people. And then now, as Aaron said, I was one of the two people that brought it to Mystery School to Brazil. And we have over 2,000 initiates, which means people that have done the Empower Thyself class. And thousands of other students that have done classes, all because two people moved to one country where they didn't know anybody and started doing the work. So, we can make a big difference in the world in whatever part area that you want to work in, whether it be healing or whether it be with children or helping with, entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. You can help people to become even more of themselves. But you also do it yourself at the same time, because that's the key. You have to learn how to do it yourself so I can share it with others. And so anyway, so now I travel the world. I travel, and I've gone to Africa and Europe and the United States and Canada and Brazil, traveling, doing all these classes, bringing it to thousands of people so that they can have the tools to do it themselves. Anyway, that's a short version.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's such a good story, though. I mean, because you are an embodiment of the path, like being super into the ego, success driven, outwardly driven, having all the emotions and being humble about that and like admitting that. That's very relatable. A lot of people are going on this roller coaster. And so, yeah, let's go into like what, you're an embodiment of this self-leadership and this releasing of the negative emotions, releasing the negative ego. And we all had a great time with you when you came for releasing negative ego, emotions, and building wealth. And so what's this next step that we're all embarking on? Like, I haven't even taken self-leadership, so I'm curious. And we already have 12 people signed up because the track record of the mystery school and you is so high. Like we just sign up. We don't know exactly what it's about, but we know it's going to be good. So we already have half the class built, and it's in 2 months. So if you guys are interested, you should do it soon because it's going to be sold out. But tell me a little bit more about like what we're going to gain like from self-leadership class. Like what's it about?
Yeah. Well, today we're living in a totally different paradigm. There's a paradigm shift happening right now. I don't know if you're noticing, but, like the old models of success, they're changing. We used to go to school and then we climb the corporate ladder, and then we let other people make decisions for us. And that's the old paradigm way of doing things. Now, self-leadership is about new paradigm way of doing it, where individuals are taking full ownership of their destiny. So it's really not, it's instead of you being led, you're starting to lead yourself. Okay, and it's not really about you changing or tweaking your approach to how you're doing it. It's actually evolving into a whole new way of being, kind of like the way I describe myself. I didn't do any workshops on how to be less jealous. I just started to connect with who I really was. And as I did that, all that jealousy and controlling and all that started going away. I like to control my life now. Yeah, I think most people want to be in control of their lives, but I don't try to control other people's lives. So instead of you being in a paradigm of external control, right, you shift it to one of internal mastery. And then if we can do that, then that helps you bring in the new paradigm. And this is what self-leadership's really about.
Oh, I'm so into that. I love that. So kind of knowing that you are the creator of your own reality, that you are at cause, and really, getting some practical tools to help us be the captain of our own ship. Basically, that's the basis of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because a lot of people are waiting for someone else to tell them what to do. And there are others that are creating the opportunities, right? And that's what I like to see. I like to see myself as an ambassador of light, an ambassador of bringing new opportunities to the front. So you can look at two different possibilities and say, oh yeah, I only thought this was a possibility. And then I bring another one here, and you can go, you know what, maybe this one isn't serving me anymore. Maybe this is what I want to try it. And then through discernment, you actually will start to decide for you by applying it and seeing where that takes you versus repeating the same old patterns that we've been doing. Because most people have just been living the same old patterns, the same old thoughts. And it's not about that anymore. If you want to succeed in the world, you have to be in charge. You have to be your own leader. And I know some people think, well, you know what, that's a lot of responsibility. And I don't really want that responsibility. I want people to tell me what to do. Well, you know, if you do that, then you're losing the opportunity for you to make an impact in the world. So I think of responsibility instead of something bad. I think of it as the ability to respond, which means that you now have the ability to make an impact. Because if you're not responsible for anything, then you really don't have an impact over it. If I say, Aaron, you're now responsible for these people, now you can have an impact on those people's lives. And so self-leadership isn't really about you becoming a leader in your work, in your job, and this type of thing. It's about you leading yourself. And as you learn to lead yourself, you can actually help lead others better. I mean, I really wish a lot of leaders in the world, a lot of manager type people knew how to lead themselves. They try to lead others, but they don't know how to lead themselves. And you can only really lead by example, right?
Yeah. So it's basically freedom. You know, it's pointing
Exactly.
to freedom. Okay, so which most people want. I mean, I tend to really want freedom. I don't tend to want to be told what to do. Why do you think people want to be told? Most people default to wanting to maybe be told what to do and not take responsibility. Like,
Well, because then well, there's many reasons for that, but one of the reasons could be that they don't want to be blamed if something doesn't go right, doesn't
okay,
go the way they. It's so much easier for you to point outside and say it's because of you, it's because of the government, it's because of this, it's because of my girlfriend, when really it's really up to you no matter what. It's always been up to you, because even if if something happens to you and you didn't ask for that to happen, how you react to it, that's up to you.
so are
Right?
we gonna? Cool, yeah. I mean, we're also going to be exploring, like, I can always hear about the negative ego, which maybe people don't know what that is, but it's the part, you know, maybe I'll have you explain it too, because
Mm-hmm.
you're a guest, you
Sure.
know. But like, we're going to be kind of, the class will shine light on where we unconsciously do what you just said, like the blaming, you know, even people who maybe like me, who is a leader already, maybe there's some pockets that I'm not seeing, some blind spots. So
Blind
like, I would
spots.
really like to be able to see more of my blind spots where I'm still in blame or victim, which, you know, I would claim I wasn't, but I'm sure there are places that there's some shadow. So I really like stuff like that. Is that going to happen too in the class?
Yeah, because if I just give you a bunch of information that's superfluous and you're not able to apply it, it really doesn't do you any good. And we already have so much information that we get from the internet and so many things that are, you know, brought to our attention, and we don't have really any way to file it and archive it and use it to the best ability. So we feel overwhelmed. In fact, a lot of you watching this probably feel overwhelmed with information. You're like, oh my God, I already know about the ego. I know about the negative ego. Well, the negative ego is everything that is stopping you from what you want in your life and everything that's stopping you from who you truly are. So your negative ego is not who you are. It's who you believe you are sometimes, when you believe that you are sad person and you're an angry person, and you're frustrating and you judge and you do all of these things. Actually, you're living from your negative ego. Your positive ego is more of your divine aspects of who you are, and that is who you truly are. That is your individuality. And so this is what we want to connect with. And in the class, you're going to have greater awareness of this so that you can, you know, make a change, right? So, because it doesn't help you. Most of our issues that we have and most of the problems we have is because we don't have awareness, and that caused us to make some decisions that weren't good. So we want to expand our awareness so we don't do this anymore. But most people aren't even aware that they have a negative ego. They just think that's who they are. And as long as you're identifying who you are, by that, you identify that, then you're going to be living with these blind spots all the time.
the limitations that we've gathered as just living on earth and having wounds, and then we think that's real and we're the creator of our own reality, we're the goddess of our own reality, is going to be blocking us from um, expanding out, and sometimes we just can't see it. And so that's why it's good for us to be in a group with somebody, like, you're an international instructor coming in, and you're going to be there, and your energy and the energy of the room and all of us together is going to help us to start seeing that, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of times, you ever wonder why you have good ideas and yet they don't ever manifest? You never make them happen. But there's something that happens to you that causes you not to move forward with these ideas. And we're going to be going into this and understand it so that you're going to be able to recognize this from the start. And then the minute you recognize it, then you're able to take action without letting that stop you.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And this is one of the great reveals that will be in the class. And once you get it, it's just like, oh my God. If you watch any of the testimonials from people in this class, once they got that piece, it was like a game shifter for them.
Okay, cool. Well, cool. Well, we don't want to give too much away yet.
No, we don't.
Just a little teaser. We really wanted to come on just to give people the opportunity to get there's an early incentive discount of $100 if you sign up by tomorrow, and we already have half the class it's sold out, half of it, and it's 2 months from now. So tomorrow, July 15th, is the deadline to save $100. After that, it's going to be full price. And there's another thing that's going to be happening when Ambassador Eric comes in. He has this really cool healing that only he has. I did it twice last time. It's called the Galactic Chamber, and I'll explain my experience of it. It's like, I don't know, it felt like a ride at Disneyland or something, like Star Tours, but you're like more meditation, and it's like a delicious energy. And then afterwards, I remember going to my old healing center and thinking, kind of, it's like the matter around me had shifted, and I could only tell when I went to my healing center because I'm so used to it. So I could tell that it was different. Like, I walked in and it didn't look like the same place. It's almost like my whole entire reality that my soul body's attached to, your reality, basically, I believe it just follows you around, as it's like a reflection of where you were at. And it just upgraded it completely. I mean, now I'm in a totally different healing center than I was even then.
Right.
It came like last year. So what is it from your perspective? Like, what does it do for people? That's what I noticed.
Okay, well, a couple things. So you have a physical body, right? And what we would call maybe something that's beyond the physical, we could call spiritual, right? And so you also are living on a planet called Earth, which is a planet in the middle of the galaxy, right? It's basically a blue ball floating in the middle of the galaxy. So really, you are a galactic being. So when you hear terms, I used to hear terms myself, thought, oh, we're galactic beings. And I thought, that's just so weird. It's like, it sounds so extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
But really, you are a galactic being. You're a being that lives in the galaxy. But you're not aware of the galaxy around you. What are you aware of? You're aware of things that are physical around you. And you know that what is physical around you, there's so much more that is going on besides what you see. And so if you're able to access what is only on Earth, then you're going to have limited access to certain things. I was only able to get over a lot of my emotional issues that I was having by going beyond the physical, beyond just studying about psychology. I was able to go to it by experiencing the spiritual or the non-physical aspects. Well, there's a quantum universe that's around us. Well, how can you harness all of the potential in an infinite universe? Where do you go to do that? I mean, do you know the first step of how to do that? How would you do that? Okay, first of all, you have to be aware that it exists. And then second of all, you have to try to bring that into you. So in this healing, which is called the Galactic Chamber healing, I create this chamber or this ideal space where this healing can happen. And then we bring in all of these galactic energies so that you can actually have access to all of the rays of creation in the room, so that you can awaken to these possibilities. So a lot of people have great insights. A lot of people have had, I had somebody who, one of his testimonials, you can see, he had an issue with Lyme disease, and
Oh, wow.
it actually helped him. He believes it's what helped heal him of that.
Oh, cool.
I can't promise anything like that, but he is convinced that that's what it was. And what is it? It's allowing you to be able to harness all of these energies that weren't even available to you before. So if you're interested, I think it's
so cool.
it's very cool. It's very it's a possibility for something magical to happen.
Yeah, and it's happening right after first day of class, so September 20th, right after class. Like, we'll give Eric a little bit of time to Ambassador Eric to set it up, and so it'll be convenient. It'll be like a half hour after class ends, and then you, like, because I know a lot of you are coming in from LA or San Diego, and so you'll be able to do that. So that's offering. We're going to be offering that too. So anyway, we're excited to have Ambassador Eric back, because I mean, this is basically your hometown anyway. Like,
it is. It's where I grew up.
And I know I'm going to see you in August very shortly. So in Toronto.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're good. I don't see any questions. But yeah, I think we
good
kind of covered what we wanted to cover, right? So tomorrow's the deadline for the earlier registration incentive, but after that, registration will still be open, but you might as well save money on it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you all for coming, and thank you, Erin, for having me. And
Okay,
I'll
cool.
see you next month, and then I'll see all the rest of you in September.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
End it here.